And thus is forged the chains of war. Well, actually nothing quite so serious. We've got ourselves another free-for-all. In the 11 o'clock position, we will have the American player NonY. He's going to have the misfortune to start right next door to the Ukrainian Zerg Bly. In the 2 o'clock position, we have the Brazilian Terran Kehlazur. His neighbor is the UK caster Terran DeMuslim. And down at the 5 o'clock position, we have the Croatian Protoss Goblin. And he finds himself eyeball to eyeball with the French veteran Zerg Stefano. And in the 8 o'clock position from Germany is the Zerg player Lambo. And lastly will be his Terran neighbor, the off-racing Neeb. So it's a free-for-all. There can only be one winner of our 8 players. You can win the traditional way by eliminating all of your opponents. The usual victory conditions apply. Eliminate all their buildings. Or you can get points by controlling the center. If you're the only player with a unit touching this patch of ground, you get a point. Our Game Master TLO decides when the first point becomes available, and then it's every 3 minutes thereafter. Oh, you only need 4 points to win this time. We've got ourselves a slightly faster game. And if you don't know, TLO has the ability to nuke at will and do all kinds of crazy effects. He's like a force of nature that does wheel and woe throughout the game at random times. A god, if you will, but a very capricious one. Now there's 4 island bases on this map. With 8 players, the resources get sucked up really fast on this map. So controlling one of the islands can be a huge difference maker. We've got DeMuslim and Bly vying for the center right now. Even if there's no game point available, controlling the center gives you free resources. Extra minerals and gas. These 2 vets get how important an early head start can be in a game like this. That's why they're willing to forego the extra mining they would have otherwise got if they'd stayed at home. Several of our players are looking to expand already. Oh, Bly's drone hit one of PLO's stasis wards, which means DeMuslim's going to collect the minerals and gas. He doesn't get extra by having 2 units on there. You only need 1. Stefano's Overlord's going to fly over and discover that Goblin's his neighbor. Goblin sees it and immediately offers him an alliance. TLO drops a giant scan on the whole map. Suddenly everybody knows everybody else's position. What an early equalizer. Oh, Stefano agreed to Goblin's proposal. We have our first alliance, or at least a non-aggression pact. I think peace with your immediate neighbor is such a good idea. Oh, Goblin drops a pylon in the center. That's going to prevent anybody from getting any bonus minerals for a while. TLO drops a time warp on Kehlazur's SCVs. Oh, actually, I think he's dropping them on everybody. Everything inside has their move and attack slowed by 50% for 7 seconds. Kehlazur and Neeb are complaining. Oh, I keep meaning to say that I've learned that the Neeblet thing is not some gag that Neeb's been doing. I just assumed it was some inside joke. Neeb is legitimately trying to change his username. Apparently there's some actual paperwork you can file to do that, and he's done so. Oh, those are Blyslings who got rid of the pylon and seized control of the center. And it's Neeblet with the Reaper. And DeMuslim. This is going to be crazy. I should also mention that Neeblet used to play Terran before he played Protoss. He probably knows how incredibly powerful mass battlecruisers can be in this kind of a game, and he's chosen his race to win. There is a monetary incentive for this match, by the way. 100 bones, 100 USD. That's some nice lunch money. It doesn't look like anybody's going to get the center right now. There's Bly's base. I'm a new fan of Bly's, and I discovered he has a degree in auditing and accounting. That just makes him even more scary. As is TLO, who, as we know, has unlimited corrosive biles. That would be so much fun. This map is actually available. NonY arrives with an adept. That's the new king of the hill. He's rewarded with some early resources. For the moment, nobody else has the firepower to repel him. Well, maybe Bly with a heck of a lot of wings. Ooh, TLO dropping storms. The center is a dangerous place to be. No real signs of alliances so far, and no significant action outside of the center area so far. Everyone's jockeying for position in the middle while they power up at home. Oh, I love this. People darting inside when the nuke is falling. Bly just pulled it off. I love it. Nukes sound scary, but they take a long time to land. Bly totally just got one Zergling's worth of gas and minerals. People, is the power of accounting. I saw that Ben Affleck flick, The Accountant. I'm never messing with an accountant again. I think these are meaningless nukes meant to show us some glorious visuals. Mission accomplished. Bly's getting himself a nice economic boost here, but he's got to be wondering, when do the points start to fall? Stefano and Lambo are really pushing out their creep. Bly is not. In fact, I don't think it'll be too much longer before Lambo and Stefano's creep actually connects. Not sure what Goblin's referring to. TLO hasn't hit him that I can see. Is there perhaps a second part to that sentence? DeMuslim is starting to devote significant resources to controlling the center. But NonY pushes an even bigger chip into the center of the table. He's got DTs. Until his opponents can get detection, he's king of the hill. And he's further assisted by the stasis wards that TLO has put out. Here comes DeMuslim. He drops a scan. Oh yeah, Terran can do that. As we hit the 5-minute mark, the armies start to get more and more significant. Look at this, we've got a Queen March from Stefano. He's pushing out with a Roach Ravager army. Wait, he's not going for the center. He's going for his ally, Goblin. It's a backstab. Goblin's gonna lose his core. Stefano with the apology as he twists the knife. No honor here. That is true, it is an FFA. Oh, but TLO's gonna save Goblin. And DeMuslim grabs point number 1. The first point drops at 5 minutes and 10 seconds. We're gonna watch those 3-minute increments going forward. Wow, TLO spamming all over Stefano. He has just shut this attack right down. Stefano's not taking the hint though, he's pushing through. Goblin smiles, he knows he's got one impressive bodyguard. Ooh, a nuke on top of a stasis ward. I always wanted to see this. It's time to test the theory that nothing can hurt you inside a stasis ward. Here's our guinea pig roaches. And they're perfectly fine. Health bars unchanged. Oh, DeMuslim back for more center control. Kehlazur thought about it, but sees he doesn't have the muscle to take center. Stefano is not stopping his attacks. TLO tries a different tactic. He splits the map in half and forces alliances. Stefano recovers quickly. He's manually attacking Goblin. That's gonna make it a lot harder. Yep, there's a mingling of creep between Stefano and Lambo. If they don't use protection, they're gonna make creep babies. DeMuslim's parking extra Raxes for vision, I guess. One of them's right at the edge of Kehlazur's base. Oh, it's a nuke right on Lambo's main. Oh, he's hit the wrong Zerg. He was trying for Stefano. I guess if you mix your creep and your game master's colorblind, these things happen. Stefano now pushing into Goblin's main. Goblin has taken an island base though. That's gonna make him, ooh, a Baneling pod drop. That is evil. Poor Lambo, he acknowledges the accidental nuke on his main. A Baneling drop, Stefano waves the white flag. But DeMuslim is picking up the torch. He's going after Goblin now. Oh, Neeb's been forced off his island base. NonY's taking it over. That is really bad for Neeblet. Lambo spread his creep into Neeblet's third. He's gonna have a resource crunch really soon. You'll see that Kehlazur has secured the island at the top right, and Lambo the island at the bottom left. Goblin is really getting squeezed by his opponents on both sides. Whoa! He just shifted his nexus over. DeMuslim's Raxes look like they're watching television. They're just kind of floating there. Stefano, didn't know we were not allowed to kill each other. I think he's implying that is the point of an FFA. Perhaps you're just not allowed to kill Goblin. Who can say? Oh, Bly going after Kehlazur's island base. And TLO's response to Stefano? He's gonna publicly give Goblin a huge whack of cash. Kehlazur is gonna earn his own cash by taking the center. And we're only about 20 seconds away from the next point being awarded. It is time for center control. Huge nukes on DeMuslim. Bly's chasing off Kehlazur. He's gonna try to deny him that point. And then he's gonna run in his lings. If he can just hold for another 10 seconds, I think he'll have this. Is anyone coming to stop him? Anybody? Bueller? Nobody? Looking like a free point. There it is! Bly ties up the game with DeMuslim, who is currently feeling the pain of his TLO nukes. Neeblet is also feeling the pain. Lambo's got a huge mutaflock going at him. There is not enough anti-air there. Certainly the Banshee is not going to help. The Thor is gone and Lambo's going to have run of Neeb's base. Neeblet needs an ally or a TLO rescue. The off-racing American star is in huge trouble. TLO drops fungal growths and storms. But they're hitting Neeb just as much as they're hitting Lambo. Oh, Neeblet GG's out. And just like that, we are down to 7 players. Oh, Lambo taunting the Game Master. This development is potentially a huge advantage for Lambo. He's in prime position to move in and take those 3 expansions. Oh, TLO's going to try to make it a little more difficult by moving these buildings around. Lambo's pretty much going to need to destroy all of the prior residence buildings. But so what? It's totally worth it. I gotta say, Stefano's really been impressing me. Until recently, he's had the highest supply for most of the game. And he's done it while going balls to the wall combat. Pretty much taking on Goblin and TLO at the same time. Right now, though, it's Bly he's technically got. And he's facing a nasty attack from Kehlazur. Oh, TLO just took the center. Anybody who wants the 3rd point at the 11-minute mark, you're gonna have to get through that. There's actually 8 Widow Mines in there. Oh yeah, Bly's really getting hit on all sides here. He's trying to counterattack Kehlazur. See if he can't persuade him to back off. He's gonna have to do it with slow Banes though. He doesn't have Baneling speed. Let's see what he can get done. Well, I think he's gonna take it up the ramp and try to go for Kehlazur's main. No, he changes his mind and pulls back. TLO sees how much trouble he's in. It's a federal bailout. 1,000 minerals, 1,000 gas. Bly's gambit has worked. Kehlazur is coming home to defend. And he's got the force to clean up Bly's units. Slow Banes versus Marauders. Not pretty. Stefano's gonna beg for some cash. He's even gonna offer a bribe. TLO responds by offering everybody a crumb. There we can see that Lambo is cleaning out Neeblet's structures. NonY sees that Bly's weak. He's gonna try to improve his own position. You gotta love it. Let Kehlazur do all the work and then reap the rewards. Bly now has the classic war on 2 fronts problem. DeMuslim, who has been quiet, has been watching the clock. I think he means to retake the center. It won't be easy. Oh, he eats tank fire for even thinking about it. Oh, Kehlazur with a huge death push on Bly. NonY's taking Bly's 3rd. This is really bad for the Zerg. He can't get his Banes to complete. He needs a Game Master bailout. A high DPS Terran Death Ball is skimming all over his structures. Bly is down to his last base. Kehlazur's medevacs are going to blot out the sun. Bly will definitely need to fight in the shade. The 3rd point is now available, but there are no takers. TLO's got his Terran nest set up, and everybody's either too weak or too busy to deal with it. Oh, there's nothing left of Bly. There is no quitting him, though. He's fighting to the bitter end. Looks like he's going to send out his mutas for one last hurrah. Oh, he's getting a beat down by TLO. Talk about kicking him when he's down. Bly does not GG. It is a technical elimination. His buildings have been eliminated. We are down to 6 players, but look at this. Stefano powering through to the center with Hydras. It's now a 3-way tie with Kehlazur, DeMuslim, and Stefano. Stefano has no plans to stick around. He makes like a tree, takes his point, and leaves. Right now, Lambo has the biggest army. Kehlazur's right behind in 2nd, with DeMuslim in 3rd. It's the 2 Protoss, Goblin and NonY, that appear to be struggling the most right now. NonY badly needs the space in Bly's base, but he can't risk getting the attention of Kehlazur for some inexplicable reason. DeMuslim is going to renew his attempt to go after Goblin. Oh, Lambo's going after NonY now. So is Kehlazur. NonY's best chance is that the 2 giants keep attacking each other. Goblin's going to bring his mothership to defend, but DeMuslim's going to focus it down with his Thors. TLO dropping his time warp to help. Goblin's really maintaining his air offensive off of that island base. I guess DeMuslim realizes he's got no chance of expanding towards Kehlazur. If he wants more minerals, he's got to face Goblin, which means he's really got to face TLO. Goblin's carrier force, though, is really nothing to sneeze at. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that none of our Terran players have gone for battle group. A certain player made it look pretty darn good at another FFA. Oh, you gotta feel for NonY. He's really feeling the squeeze here. He's getting pushed by Kehlazur's bio. Goblin moves his Sky Toss to attack DeMuslim's base, but then Stefano just moves right in on him. It's a mini 2v2. Goblin and TLO versus Stefano and DeMuslim. Unfortunately, both Stefano and DeMuslim really need those bases, so I don't know how long they can stay allies. Oh, look at this! Oh, they survived! DeMuslim is controlling the center with Widow Mines, and they were completely unaffected by TLO's pod drop. The next point is about 2 minutes away, but DeMuslim is going to pull in a lot of money from holding that center position, though everybody's just so busy fighting for their lives. Oh, that iris of Banelings is just so potent. Stefano's come up to take the center, but he finds it invisibly occupied. DeMuslim's even building a bank off this. It looks like Kehlazur has officially moved into Bly's territory, and he's working on eliminating NonY next. TLO's defending NonY. Kehlazur accuses him of Team Liquid bias. Now Lambo's looking at taking the center. He's discovered DeMuslim's Widow Mines. I think he's just gonna brute force him. There's only 3 of them. Yeah, he brings in an overseer, and that's it for DeMuslim. But he's not staying? The 4th point should be up for grabs in the next 30 seconds or so. Goblin is still tenaciously defending his main. He's been a punching bag since this game began. Stefano is once again leaning into him. He's been adding spores to deal with those interceptors. Goblin's gonna have to pull back. But does anybody even care about points anymore? Ah, Kehlazur does. He's at least spared a Marine. Oh, and he gets the point! And scabs of money to go with it. He's made it a 4-way tie. Both of our remaining Zerg players just dogpile on him. But they are too late. But Kehlazur's gotta be laughing. He got a point for just a 50 mineral Marine, and he probably picked up enough minerals to pay for it. Lambo's like, wait, did you just do that with 1 Marine? Kehlazur is going to try to deny it. Meanwhile, the never-ending effort to try to extricate Goblin from this game keeps on going. Stefano's just deploying this huge horde of Hydras. I feel like if Lambo were to attack Stefano right now, he could wipe him off the map. Stefano is just all in on his attack on Goblin. Oh, Lambo's trying to see if he can get permission in advance to attack somebody without getting hit by TLO. TLO's response is to give him a nuke. I think Lambo wants to finish off NonY. He's got the muscle to do it, but both our Protoss players have proven to be survivors. Maybe I spoke too soon. Stefano's got position over Goblin's main. But I think Goblin's real main at this point is his island base. TLO drops a map-wide scan. That's going to help Goblin deal with those lurkers. Well, it might if they weren't escorted by a bajillion Hydras. Fortunately, TLO's going to help by keeping them back with some force fields. Yep. Looks like Lambo's gonna renew his attack on NonY. NonY does have a lot of storms banked up. He won't be easy to kill. But it looks like Lambo's gonna employ some patience. He's using abducts to pull those Archons into his lurkers. But it's gonna be pretty hard to unseat Lambo from that position. Meanwhile, DeMuslim has taken the center. Looks like he's falling back to his Widow Mine strategy. He's had success with it so far, and now he's gonna dial it up to 11. He's just gonna blanket the center area with Widow Mines. Meanwhile, his main army's gonna try to fend off Kehlazur. It's always hard to tell, but I believe those storms are actually from Goblin's Templar and not from TLO. Oh wow, that is a lot of mines. We're still approximately 2 minutes away to the next point though. That's an eternity. Forget holding the center. DeMuslim has to actually survive the onslaught of Kehlazur. NonY's gonna send in a force to explore the possibility if he can take the center. He does have detection, but does he appreciate just how many mines there are? No, NonY doesn't care. He's gonna clear it out. That is bad luck for DeMuslim. He's got problems on his home front and he's gonna lose his position. No! NonY has to give up. He needs to go home to save his own base from Lambo. Big Baneling drop on Lambo. Goblin's asking for money. And in so doing, he's made it public knowledge that he no longer has the funds to support his carriers. The next point's less than 10 seconds away. It looks like DeMuslim's Widow Mines are gonna get it for him. NonY was thwarted by Lambo. And there it is, DeMuslim takes the lead. He's got 2. Bly, Kehlazur, and Stefano all have 1. DeMuslim says, hey, this is actually working. He's gonna double down by adding even more Widow Mines. You know, you gotta admit, our players are all really getting into the spirit of an FFA here. There hasn't really been one real lasting alliance the entire game. Oh, TLO has booted DeMuslim. He added the Terran spread to the center. Lambo's really cutting into NonY now. I don't know how much longer he can survive. Not at all would be the answer to that question. He just GG'd. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to 5 players. And for some inexplicable reason, TLO just gave DeMuslim a bunch of money. He's compensating for all the widow mines he just destroyed. As you can see, Lambo is the dominant player in terms of space and supply. Looks like TLO's gonna punish him for that by going after his island base. Time warp nukes. Yikes! There will be no survivors. DeMuslim's calling for help from TLO. I think he's in trouble. The second biggest player in terms of supply right now is actually Stefano, our other Zerg. He's finally starting to move into Goblin's old bases. We're less than 2 minutes away to the next point. So far, no player has expressed an interest in it. I think I might see why. Apparently, if you want the 6th point, you have to pry from the cold dead hands of our game master. Lambo is starting to engage Kehlazur. That is terrific news for DeMuslim. He really needs those two titans to keep each other busy. You know, I say there's no alliances, but the general lack of aggression between Stefano and Lambo, that's a pretty big deal. They've had skirmishes, but for the large part, they've held off of each other. And I think that's been a difference maker for both of them. Now DeMuslim is marching on Kehlazur while he's trying to fend off Lambo. Kehlazur is going to call for an alliance. DeMuslim's like, where was that 10 minutes ago? Lambo's going to take a shot at clearing the center. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. And we're only about a minute away from the next point. Lambo's done it, now he just has to hold it. DeMuslim has not answered Kehlazur. I think we can take that as alliance declined. He stopped attacking him, but he's also taken his third. In the meantime, Goblin's going after DeMuslim. He may have given up on fighting Stefano. Oh, TLO's gonna make Lambo earn his point. He's just dropped one of the biggest force field donuts you're ever gonna see. The trapped hydras begin to squeal like piggies. Find the hole, find the hole. No, Lambo's gonna try to ride it out for the point. He doesn't have any, so I thought his strategy was gonna be elimination. Oh, can he get the point before the nuke lands? The hydras are clearing out. He should leave just one. Oh, he's doing exactly that. One hydra stays back to grab the point, and then he's getting out of dodge. Well, he could have dodged a little better than that. So we still have DeMuslim leading with 2. Kehlazur, Lambo, and Stefano with 1. And then, of course, our lone remaining Protoss Goblin with none. I think his plan is just to try to survive and see if an opportunity presents himself for him to get back in this game somehow. Oh, now Stefano's turning the screws on DeMuslim. He might want to rethink Kehlazur's offer of an alliance. Though Kehlazur is kind of busy battling Lambo. This game's just kind of turned into a de facto TVZ. Ooh. There should be a t-shirt for those overlords. I survived TLO's nuking 2020, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Free-for-alls make for the strangest bedfellows. Goblin winds up coming to DeMuslim's rescue. It looks like, for the moment at least, he's joined Team Terran. Think that's the right call for him. But with this TVZ thing battling on here, it does look to me like the Zergs have a real opportunity to control the center now. Of course, they might be fighting over it amongst themselves. Looks like Lambo snarls hardest. He's taking the center. Oh, forget the whole TVZ theme. Kehlazur's Liberators are ripping up DeMuslim. He responds with a, what the? I guess he figured their alliance was implied. But it looks like Kehlazur values that remaining clump of minerals more. This could be it for DeMuslim. He might be on the chopping block here. Especially since Stefano's trying to get in on the action. TLO's gonna try to fend him off with a nuke. And fungals. But I'm not sure it can save him. If DeMuslim has to face Kehlazur and Stefano, I don't know if he can hold out. Nope, it's a GG. We are down to the final 4. And DeMuslim was our point leader. We'll see if Kehlazur regrets his decision. He might find DeMuslim's presence was a bigger asset than his absence. Oh, TLO just evicted Lambo. It's that patented instant Terran army. It looks as organized as it is deadly. We're less than a minute away from the next game point. It's baneling carnage all over Lambo's macro hatches. Did I just call him Lambo? I think I did. We're about 20 seconds away from the next game point becoming available. TLO's eviction of Lambo was quite timely. Stefano's trying to figure out how he can get at Goblin, but he's going to need a tech switch of some kind to do it. Oh, Lambo's taking back the center. I think he's got it. Once again, TLO doesn't want to make it easy. He's like skywriting with corrosive vials. I think he's spelling out the Game Master loves you. Stefano's jumping in. Who can withstand the corrosive vial rain to take the point? We're seconds away. I do believe the point is now available, but the two Zergs are canceling each other out. Nobody has sole possession of the circle. As soon as one of the players is ousted, a point will be awarded. Goblin's looking to see if he might move into Kehlazur's old territory. Oh, it looks like Stefano might be coming out on top. I'm warped by TLO might have tipped the scales. Oh, Lambo's gonna concede. Stefano has it. I think he just needs to get in there. Where's his point? Oh, there it is. Stefano with 2. Since DeMuslim's out, Stefano's our new leader with 2. Lambo and Kehlazur with 1 point apiece. But since Lambo really controls about 40% of the map, I think he still looks pretty dominant. TLO's gifting Goblin some money. I could see him rebuilding. While Lambo is busy fighting Stefano, Kehlazur stepped up the attack. There's a real triangle of power going on right now. I guess Goblin's hoping to be the little metal wand or stick that you use to ding the triangle. A bold statement by Stefano. He's moving his creep right into the center. It looks like his backup plan is to try to hold the center with changelings. If it works, that's a very cost-efficient way to do it. Kehlazur digging himself in with those liberators. Lambo finds himself forced to make a decision. Who does he want to fight? Zerg or Terran? The vote is in. It's gonna be Terran. This is a major battle for this game. And of course, as soon as I say that, they both back off. Stefano, so far though, is the real victor. He's moved into the center and is now rearranging the furniture. He's redecorating with spores. Spine crawlers are out, people. Spores are the new hardwood. I'm surprised TLO's letting him do this. I guess the next point is 2 minutes away. But boy, is Stefano gonna be ready. Lambo's figured it out. Is he gonna let him get away with it? Oh, bad observing. I missed the nukes. I mean, there's been like 80 of them. Come on. TLO is helping Goblin by cleaning out DeMuslim's buildings. That might explain why Stefano's gotten away with his home improvement project. The Zerg battle is heating up. We are just over a minute away from the next point. Kehlazur has managed to max out. He has become the beneficiary of the Zerg war. Stefano is second for supply. Lambo has sunk to 3rd place, though I think a lot of that sinking is from Stefano pushing down on his shoulders. He's just lost all his lurkers to abducts. Oh, I think TLO has realized we're less than a minute away for the next point. He's decided to make the center a dangerous place. Stefano's gonna evac, but he's leaving a spore behind to pick up the money. Oh, TLO's gonna punish Goblin for sitting. I think he's disappointed that Goblin didn't follow the implied plan and set up in DeMuslim's base. Goblin's gonna take the hint and try to fight Stefano. And now Stefano and Kehlazur are going in. It's Lambo who's begging for cash. I did not think I was gonna see that. This game has had a lot of twists. That's Kehlazur cleaning out DeMuslim. He's not attacking himself. And look at this. TLO has moved Goblin's nexus back over to his original natural. He's essentially forced Goblin to try to retake his old territory. That is good news for Lambo. It'll keep Stefano busy. But not so busy that he doesn't grab the next point and extend his lead. I feel like it came early. But you know what? It doesn't matter. The main thing is that Stefano is now on match point. He only needs to grab it one more time and he wins this thing. The other players need to ally right now and dislodge him. TLO sends out a warning, 2 minutes and 45 seconds for the next point. Can the players put aside their many grievances built up over the last half hour to do what needs to be done? Stefano gets it. He realizes all he has to do is defend one more time. He's bringing up every spore he's got. Forget his face. He doesn't need it anymore. He just needs to hold for 2 minutes. Oh, Kehlazur and Lambo fighting it out in the top right corner of the map. Not what needs to be happening right now. They both need to stop and macro for one big push on Stefano. TLO gives everybody some gas. He knows Lambo needs it. Lambo's lost an empty base, but that's not what's important right now. Goblin is fighting Stefano, but he's a long way from the center. I'm not even sure Stefano should be there. He should pull all those units and put them in the center. Maybe he doesn't want to make too many targets for the nukes that TLO is probably going to drop. Oh, Goblin's just been revealed, but I'm not sure it matters. It'll be so impressive if Stefano can actually win this, given how little territory he's controlled throughout the game. Stefano's got the attention of TLO. I think it's game time. Time warps go down. Stefano's moved the bulk of his army into the center. Lambo looks to be making an attack from multiple directions. Goblin is flying around. I think he's going to try to get in on this too. Somewhere there's a sergeant yelling, "Go, go, 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 go! It's got to be now!" TLO starts the bile rain. It's not a pattern this time. It's random. It's everywhere. Stefano just needs to hold on. He's selectively withdrawing some of his forces. I think we're just over a minute away, and the apocalypse has clearly started. Kehlazur tries an alliance with Goblin, but really he needs one with Lambo. Stefano's got his creep all over the center. TLO calls 45 seconds. Stefano just needs to hold on. Kehlazur gets it. He says now or never. Lambo's asking for TLO's help, but he already has it. It's Stefano versus everyone, but the clock will be on his side. Kehlazur's Bioforce pokes in. Is it close enough to deny the point? TLO says let it rain. Does Stefano have this? I think he's got to push back the Terran. Oh, Lambo's getting in on it. It is a true free-for-all. Not going to let Stefano retreat. He's constructed a death arena. He's forcing the armies in closer to one another. And now he's nuking everyone. With storms. It's storming nukes. The force fields drop. Who's going to retreat? Kehlazur goes to plant a single ghost in the center. But Stefano's spores have claim as well. There's the nukes. The nuke kills Kehlazur and Stefano wins. There is mass confusion. Nobody is sure what has happened, but we know that Stefano has won. Okay, that ending is definitely going to require a video review. Okay, I've checked out the replay, and here's my thoughts on this insane ending. First though, since we have the advantage of watching the whole battle, and we're not busy defending ourselves from simultaneous attacks from 3 different opponents, we can see that Lambo, Kehlazur, and Goblin are completely overlooking the imminent peril that they are in. Stefano is about to win the game. At 29:45 seconds, Kehlazur figures it out. He drops his rallying cry, "It's now or never," and he couldn't encapsulate it better. If Stefano gets that 4th point, it's over. Lambo joins him, Goblin too, but let's face it, he's useless at this point with minimal interceptors. It's not his fault. He spent the whole game getting kicked in the teeth and propped up by the game master, and he's made the best of a bad situation. Lambo and Kehlazur's attack is a little bit clumsy, because they're attacking each other almost as much as Stefano, but they're running for their lives, and the game is set up so they attack each other by default. It takes a lot of micro to do anything else. Then, TLO makes his death arena. It's Thunderdome, baby. Well, not exactly. It's Thunderdome with nukes. And that really sets the stage for what happens next. Everyone wants to leave, but everyone has to stay. Ha! Kind of sounds like an allegory for my life. Okay, so here we are in the Death Donut, and you can see Lambo's really getting cut down. The nukes are away. There's a storm for Lambo, a storm for Stefano, but not for Kehlazur. But the nukes are all on the north side of the watchtower. Now, right about this exact point, the game point has become available, but nobody has it because the center has multiple occupants. I'm just going to freeze frame here. Lambo's pulled out, but he's left a couple of changelings to block the point. Kehlazur's running back a lone ghost. He's headed for the watchtower, so there's no question he's taking the center. Stefano's marching back a spore. It's only got 68 of its 400 hit points left, deep in the red. But he's also got these spores rooted on the left-hand side here. Believe it or not, they may be in range. So now the nuke falls. I said, now the nuke falls. There we go. Now watch it again even slower. It's the exact moment the nuke hits that Stefano wins the game. The explosion and victory are simultaneous. So who dies? Lambo's changelings, Kehlazur's ghost, and Stefano's mobile spore. TLO also gets one of the rooted spores, but the other one survives. You'll see in a second it drops to 80 hit points. Now it looks like it's too far, but it's the only thing around. The game's already won when Stefano's units charge in. So my theory is that spore is the MVP. Most valuable plant. Now I hear what you're saying. Actually I don't because I can't hear you, but it's an expression. But you're saying, Zugzwang, it's too far away to score a point. But I think there's no other explanation. The actual point generating circle is wider than the circle of grass. So it's bigger than the graphic would indicate. That's my theory anyway. Feel free to argue with me in the comments below. Nothing to worry about. I'm a total puffball. But think about it for a second. If I'm right, TLO actually gave the game to Stefano. And I don't believe for 1 second that's what he was actually intending to do. But it sure made for a thought-provoking finish to a very exciting game. So let me just say this. Live life, because nobody wants to die in hold position. To continue your StarCraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your StarCraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang StarCraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.